Greetings. This is Azadeh Fazio. I'm the Executive Director of Institute for Voices of Liberty. The time has come. We are going to talk about what is going on in the streets of Iran right now as we're talking. This is an uprising. We're going to look at this not through headlines, not through the politics, but through reality. As I speak to you, people inside Iran are on the streets. Ordinary people, young people, parents, families. This uprising has now entered its 13th day, with demonstrations and strikes continuing across the country. We're seeing active protests, streets, gatherings, and bazaar strikes in Tehran, including the Grand Bazaar, one of Iran's most historic civic and economic centers. At the same time, protests and strikes are taking place from Khorasan to Khuzestan, from Azerbaijan to Hormuzgan and Mazandaran, Gilan to Fars, as well as Hamadan, Elam, Alborz, Qom, all over the country, all 31 provinces, rural, urban, universities, public squares, and commercial centers. This is not localized unrest. This is a nationwide uprising. Why this moment is so critical and requires our immediate attention. There is something the world must understand very clearly. When the Islamic Republic shuts down the internet, it is never just about censorship. It is a signal, clear signal. Historically, internet blackouts in Iran are followed by severe crackdowns. They create darkness so violence can happen without witnesses. This is when arrests increase. This is when people disappear. We've seen so many times that people still are missing. And this is when Islamic Republic kills innocent Iranian people who are only seeking freedom and opportunity. That is why this moment is exceptionally sensitive and critical. Access to communication in Iran is not a luxury, it's a lifeline right now. When the internet goes dark, the danger to civilians rises dramatically. That is why attention, visibility, and support right now matters so much. Understanding the Islamic Republic, it's very, very important, and their motives. To understand what's happening today, you have to understand what the Islamic Republic is and what it has done since 1979. The regime did not begin as a normal government. It was born as an ideological system, not a national one. From the beginning, its loyalty was never to Iranians and Iranian people or the homeland. It was an ideological network of terrorism that threatens everywhere globally. Over 4 decades, this regime has systematically dismantled Iran's institutions, Iran's middle class, Iran's sovereignty, and Iranians' national identity. But they underestimated when the Iranians are awakened, they are unshakable and they are unstoppable. This regime wants to replace this fear instill fear through surveillance and force and bringing Hashd al-Shabi from Iraq and important foreign forces to shut down the protesters. They cannot do that. The will of Iranians, it's so great and so ancient, they cannot shut us down. Every generation has paid the price. People were executed, families were destroyed. Talented Iranians were forced to leave their country. Women were stripped of basic rights. Young people were raised under constant pressure. This didn't happen overnight. It happened methodically. The regime has exported only crisis, fear, and terror. One of the most important things that the world must understand is that Islamic Republic survives by exporting instability. Instead of investing in its people, it invested in militia, proxy forces, armed groups outside of Iran, in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and beyond all of these groups. Right now, with Popular Mobilization Forces, PMF, again also known as Hashd al-Shabi, that are important to Iran to shut down the protests, that is completely unacceptable They're bringing foreign forces to shut down the Iranian people. These are not independent actors. This is a network of terrorism that must be completely eradicated. While Iranians struggle with inflation, unemployment, lack of medicine, lack of opportunities, this regime sends billions abroad to support terrorism. This is why people reject the Islamic Republic, all its institutions, and its constitution. This is very, very clear to all Iranians at this point. What's happening right now is that the fear that Islamic Republic wants to instill in people, it's not working anymore. Instead of fear, there's unity. Generation Z is an amazing generation. They're very, very aware. They're educated. They're connected. They see the world. They know what Iran could be. And this is why this generation has come out to the streets. And you know, it's interesting because their parents have joined them. Their grandparents have joined them. This is not one group. This is not one city. This is not one moment or a movement. It is a society awakened with one voice. And that voice is so loud and is so clear. The Iranian people inside Iran are calling for Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi to return. They're chanting nonstop. This is the last battle. Pahlavi will return. Long live the king. Down with dictators. They are clearly saying what they want. And Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has heard the Iranian voices loud and clear, and he has responded with clarity. He did not demand power. He has offered service and structure. He said the future must be decided by the people of Iran through a referendum, through a constitutional process leading to a secular democracy. This message matters because it removes fear and chaos. People are in the street today and tomorrow responding to that call because they believe there's a path forward, not a revenge, not a collapse, that there is an alternative that is going to take this transition to the next phase where Iran can be great again. Today, something very important has happened. Elon Musk announced that Starlink is available for free for Iranians. This matters because when the regime cuts the internet, it tries to isolate the people. It means truth can travel faster than repression. It means Iranians can communicate, they can document, they can be seen. This is not about technology, it's about visibility and protection. So we like to thank Elon Musk for the great work that he has done, standing in the right side of history. And why this matters to the world? This matters because this is not just an Iranian issue. A regime that kills its own people will not hesitate to endanger others. The Islamic Republic has repeatedly shown that it supports terrorism, destabilizes the region, and threatens global security. That is why what's happening in Iran matters for far beyond its borders. And I like to share and thank the United States President Trump, for issuing a direct warning to the Islamic Republic, saying that if Iranian authorities shoot and violently kill peaceful protesters, which is their custom, quote unquote, then the United States would act to help those people. President Trump has shown throughout his career that he takes his words seriously. We trust that he will honor that commitment. Now, supporting the Iranian people could be in so many different ways, but one of the things that I want to make sure that we understand is the Iranian people want the world to know that this brutal criminal regime, it is not a legitimized government that is ruling the people. The people of Iran don't want to be ignored. They don't want to be abandoned. They don't want to be betrayed. They want to be heard. And they just want to be supported towards their process, towards their fight for sovereignty. Iranian people are not asking to be saved. They're asking not to be abandoned. And that is an honorable and respected request. They're acting with courage, with discipline, and with deep sense of responsibility for their nation's future. They're not asking the world to decide for them. They're asking the world to see them, to hear them, to stand by the principles that it claims to be upheld. This moment calls for honesty. It calls for attention, for proper action. It's called for leadership rooted in principle. Standing with the Iranian people today is not a political position. It is a moral one. History will remember who chose clarity over silence. Truth will show. Truth will always come out. And it shows it's true. People will show their true color. And today, our color is one nation and is one flag. And that flag is the only flag, is the lion and sun that we all stand under. The people of Iran, they don't want chaos. They just parents who want safety for their children. They're young people who want a future. It's a nation that wants dignity. So stand on the right side of the history with all these peaceful, courageous people on the streets of Iran. Share the truth and uphold our morals and ethics to the sovereignty of a nation that is very well deserved. Light wins over darkness, always. Thank you.